Good day, grade 11. I'm going to do activity 8.3 with you. I hope you all managed to do 8.2. There is one question of 8.2 though that I need to do with you because some of you might have struggled with number 2 of activity 8.2. Don't worry too much about that. We'll find some time to do that at a stage. Okay, now 8.3, the difference between grade 10 ratios and the analysis of financial statements and in grade 11 is that in grade 10 they ask you directly, straight away, calculate the current ratio, calculate the asset test ratio, calculate the solvency ratio. But in grade 11 they ask you questions and you have to know by reading the questions which ratio you are going to look at. Now, the first question was the financial manager recommended at the end of 2013 that the business should cut its overhead costs to improve its cost control. Now, the ratio that we are going to look at is your percentage net profit on sales. You have to know that that is the ratio that we're going to look at. All right. Now, when you write your comment, you always start with what you see. It changed from this percentage in this year to that percentage in that year. And that you have to write because that's going to earn you some marks. Now, percentage net profit on sales is the ratio that we're going to look at. And you will see on page 278, you get the information there. Net profit on sales, 26.4% last year, 31.2% this year. And that's exactly what you are going to write in your answer. Percentage net profit on sales, it improved. So write what happened. It improved. Okay, not increased, it improved because it's better now. It improved from 26.4% in 2013 to 31.2% in 2014. And that's how you do this. But I've taught you this last year. You write what happened and then you write the trend. Okay. Now, number 2, they ask you, does the partnership have a liquidity problem? Now, the moment you read liquidity, you have to know that there are a few ratios that we have to look at. The one is the current ratio, the asset test ratio, and the stock turnover rate. Those 3. And those are all given to you. Now you will see that the current ratio it improved. So you're going to write, it improved. Now you just look at your figures. It just given to you. From 2.3 to 1 in 2013 to 4.6 to 1 in 2014. So that's quite an improvement. Okay, I'm not going to stand still too long because this is work that we did last year. The asset test ratio improved. You need to write that from 1.1 to 1 to 1.9 to 1. And that was in 2013 and this was in 2014. Right. And then the other one you have to look at, and this is a new one for you, is your stock turnover rate. How many times was the stock turned over in a year? Okay, and it was 5.6 times in 2013 to 7.4 times in 2014. Okay, so that's an improvement, don't you agree? Improved from, it only turned over 5.6 times last year, but this year 7.4 times. So that's quite an improvement. So the answer is for number 2 is, does the partner have a liquidity problem? And of course, gentlemen, they ask you, does it have it? And you have to answer that. So first of all, you show those and then you answer no. No liquidity problem. So you need to answer the question as well because that is going to count 1 mark. Right. Number 3, the partners consider applying for additional mortgage loan, 120,000 Rand, interest of 17%. Okay. Don't worry about the calculations. Don't worry about 17%, about the 120,000 Rand. That's not important now. Motivate your answer by means of calculations. Now, will they manage to secure such a loan quite easily? And then you have to know, okay, what are we going to look at? The ratio that fits that question is my debt to equity ratio. And my debt to equity ratio is, I've got the debt to equity ratio is 0.06 to 1. Okay, it's very important to then say that the business is low geared and credit worthy. Those two terms are important. You're going to look at the debt to equity ratio, that's going to count marks. You have to mention that it's low geared and it's credit worthy. Right, and then also answer the question, is it yes or no? In this case, you will recommend it. They ask you, what did they ask? 3, the partners consider, will they manage? Yes, the answer is yes, and you have to answer that yes. Okay, number 4, should Hanno de Tooy feel satisfied with the percentage earning he receives on the money he's invested in the business? Motivate your answer by means of calculations. Now, you need to know that this is the ratio that we're going to look at. Total earnings, average partner equity times 100%. And you just learned that. You need to know that. So the amount is 188,900. It's my total earnings. Remember, your total earnings is his profit share, his salary, his bonus, and his interest on capital. And then the average partner's equity is a half times his capital at the beginning of the year, plus his balance at the beginning of the year, then his capital at the end of the year, and his private account balance at the end of the year. And that's times 100, and that gives you an amount of 37.4%. 37.4%. And the question was, should he feel satisfied? Yes, he should feel satisfied. Why? Because to get 37.4%, no alternative investment will give you a return of 37.4%. Right, let's look at the second last question, number 5. Hanno is unhappy about the amount withdrawn by Michael during the year. Calculate Michael's drawings for the year and comment on whether Hanno has any reason to be happy. Now, gentlemen, there's no other way to calculate the drawings than using it as a balancing figure. You have to open, so that's very important for you to know what tool you're going to use to calculate the drawings for Michael, because that's not given to you. But you've got the balance at the beginning of the year, the 1090. You've got the balance at the end of the year, 6070, a debit balance. You've got the total earnings or the appropriation, that was 176,200. And this is going to be your balancing figure. That's why I put it in a little frame. And that will give your drawings 183,360. Okay. So although the drawings of Michael, the 183,360, is not much more than of Hanno, the thing is that his total earnings was 176,200. And he withdrew much more. It's far more than the 176,200. Look at that. This is the amount allocated to him. That is what he withdrew. So yes, Hanno is going to feel, definitely going to feel unhappy. So this is what you need to do. That's your tool to find this out. Okay, gentlemen, the last one is calculate the business average debtors collection period. And if you do that, you have to calculate, now, gentlemen, you all know how to do the average debtors over the credit sales. I don't want to stand on this too long. You will see that it's 38 days. Okay. And what does a business want? He wants 30 days. But what can he do to improve debtors collections? He can charge interest, okay, on outstanding accounts or accounts that are in arrears. And also he can allow discount when debtors settle their accounts early, on early payments. I hope this all makes sense to you. Work hard and do the next exercise for tomorrow.